Hello, good morning, everyone. So this is Group 3. So we have here prepared a specific discourse that we will going to talk about. So my group mate, which is Megan, will going to play the video to be your guideline for this discussion.
Senator Alan Cayetano is now recognized.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, Madam Vice President, magandang hapon po, and welcome to the Senate. Magandang tanghali. I'd like to note that this committee is ruled by the women and kaming mga men ay nasa sidelines lang. I'd also like to note that although as a senator, naintindihan ko si Senator Risa na siyempre mas gusto kong cordial yung sagutan. But we also have to take into context that this is both legislative and political. And there are attacks against the Vice President regardless saan nanggagaling. So, a little bit of latitude dahil we want kakampi man o kalaban to feel welcome. But I agree with Senator Risa naman na, how do we make it more cordial, no? So, Madam Vice President, may I ask just one question? Actually, two eh. One, nag-lunch na po ba kayo? And,
Yes, Senator Cayetano, nag-lunch na po ako. And I'm very cordial
yes,
when it
ma'am.
comes to international diplomatic relations. Gusto nyo i-discuss natin yung West Philippine Sea.
Yes.
But hindi kasi ako plastic na tao.
No, I agree with you, ma'am. That's why nga sinasabi ko po na hindi lang to legislative, political din. That's why you should be given the latitude to answer in the way that you feel it could be properly answered, di ba? So the other, kaya ko lang tinanong kung lunch kayo kasi in the first 2 years, I know that you got a very warm welcome sa Senate. So I'm hoping sa budget hearing it doesn't change, no? I remember ang daming pumunta sa lunch noon. So my question lang, ma'am, is what can we do for the Office of the Vice President? Meron bang ni-request sa DBM na wala sa budget niyo so that we can consider it at the proper time?
No, we are already okay with the approved budget from the Department of Budget. The approved proposed budget in the NEP from the Department of Budget and Management, and we leave it up to members of Congress to decide on the budget. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you to the Office of the Vice President.
So
Any more questions? Well,
first up, Miss Belangiga. So we have here prepared discourse analysis framework matrix. In order for us to organize our answers first, contextual information, and the type of discourse about the context is all about budget and Senate hearings, as they are that the main purpose of that hearing was all about the budget. So the next one is participants that will be discussed by Ms. Malata.
So, good morning everyone. Today I will be discussing the participants and setting. So, the participants are Senator Grace Poe, Vice President Sara Duterte, and Senator Alan Cayetano. So, Grace Poe, Chairperson of the Senate Committee on Finance, made the assurance as Duterte appeal to restore the OVP's originally proposed 2.37 billion hangs in the balance after she threatened to assassinate the first family and Speaker Martin Romualdez. Second, Sara Duterte, Vice President, she answered the questions asked by Senator Alan Peter Cayetano whether she already had her lands and if there is anything requested from DBM that it's not in their budget so the senator can consider it in a proper time. Third is Alan Peter Cayetano, Senator, joined the Committee on Finance as they discussed the proposed 2025 budget of the office of the Vice President. He was the one who asked question to Vice President Sara Duterte. So the setting is Senate hearing on proposed 2025 budget of the Office of the Vice President, August 20, 2024, Tuesday. That's all. Thank you.
And the next one is the purpose that will be discussed by Miss Sabala.
Good morning, everyone. I am Kizaya Sabala, and I'll be the one to discuss the purpose of the budget and Senate hearing. So, the purpose of the Senate hearing is to discuss and review the Vice President's office budget. So, Senator Cayetano's question seeks to clarify whether there are any additional requests made by the Vice President's office to the Department of Budget and Management that are not included in the current budget. So this can be considered at the appropriate time during the budget process.
Thank you, Miss Sabala, for that idea. So we will now proceed to the extractional analysis. First, we have organization that will be discussed by Miss Bilangige.
Okay, so good morning. For the structural analysis in organization, it is a turn-taking patterns. Speaker A, which is Senator Alan Cayetano, asking questions to Speaker B, which is Vice President Sara Duterte, giving answers, and Speaker A, Senator Alan Cayetano, ending the conversation.
So thank you, Miss Bilangige. So right now, we will proceed to the cohesion of structural analysis. The Speaker A, which is Senator Cayetano, used cohesive devices such as pronouns like personal pronouns, I'd, a contraction of words I would, which referring to I that belong to personal pronoun. We, kaming mga men, as you can observe in the discourse, kaming mga men, kaming means we, and also we have here a demonstrative pronoun that is that, this. We have also conjunction, subordinating conjunction, although because dahil correlative conjunction, but we also both. And we have here a repetition of words such as a, po, we, I'm, and. Speaker B, on the other hand, BP Sara used cohesive devices such as pronouns only, like personal pronoun like ako, me, we, I, for, and I'm. And also, they both use repetition of words like cordial, I, me. That's all. And now let's proceed to coherence, which is will be discussed by Miss Bilangige.
So for the coherence, the conversation is not directly pointed out the question of Senator Cayetano. It was raised with the first friendly question. Madam Vice President, nag-lunch na po ba kayo? This demonstrates topical coherence because it focuses on a style, topic, or theme, asking about whether the Madam Vice President had already lunch. It also brought confusion as Vice President Sara Duterte mentioned the phrase, hindi kasi ako plastic na tao. The flow of the ideas was maintained despite other unnecessary statements and indirect introduction. The question was given and followed by the answer as well, so it remains consistent and clear in its intent without deviating from the central idea. The conversation has ended simply and directly.
So thank you, Miss Bilangige, for that. So now let us proceed to the third type of what we call of this discourse analysis framework matrix, which is linguistic features. So we have here our lexical choices that will be discussed by Miss Fajardo.
Good morning, everyone. So I will be discussing the lexical choices in the discourse. The discourse remarks the use of formal and emotive kinds of words. The use of formal words is evident when Senator Cayetano greeted Senator Poe and Vice President Sara Duterte. Madam Chair and Madam Vice President were used to indicate respect to one another. On the other hand, it can be noticed that the discourse contains of an emotive phrase, hindi kasi ako plastic na tao. A direct phrase stated by VP Sara that shows emotion and it brings negative connotation to the audience or listener. Furthermore, the word cordial was mentioned 3 times during the Senate hearing. This was emphasized first by Senator Cayetano by wanting to run the conversation in a cordial manner. Cordial simply means friendly or courteous. You might describe a smile, greeting, or welcome as cordial. Thank you. That's for my part.
Thank you, Miss Fajardo. And now let us move on to the syntax and tone and style that will be discussed by Miss Bueno.
So in the syntax, so Speaker A, which is Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, employ short, polite, and straightforward sentences such as "Nag-lunch na po ba kayo?" to create a friendly and respectful atmosphere. His use of po reflects to the Filipino culture norms of politeness and shows an intention to maintain professionalism while fostering rapport. So in contrast, Speaker B, which is Vice President Sara Duterte, uses declarative and informal phrases like "hindi ako plastic na tao," which is emphasize directness and raw honesty. This syntax reflects her attempt to assert her personality and authenticity but introduce a more emotionally changed tone. The simplicity of their sentence structures makes their points clear, but the choice of words and formality levels reflect different priorities. So Speaker A focuses on maintaining decorum while Speaker B emphasizes candidness even at the risk of sounding confrontational. This divergence in syntax affects how their messages are received by the audience and their colleagues. So in the tone and style, Speaker A, Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, maintains a respectful and cordial tone evident in his use of polite language like "Nag-lunch na po ba kayo?" The inclusion of po, a marker of respect in Filipino culture, reflect his intention to uphold professionalism and foster a non-confrontational atmosphere. On the other hand, Speaker B, which is Vice President Sara Duterte, adopts a tone that is more direct and emotionally charged with statements like "hindi ako plastic na tao." Showcasing blunt honesty, her style art alternates between sarcasm as seen in "I know you got a very warm welcome" sa Senate, so I am hoping as a budget hearing it doesn't change, no, and defensiveness, which adds intensity to the discourse. So while Speaker A tones align with the formal and respectful norms of the hearing, so Speaker B approach emphasize authenticity but thus introducing intention due to its informal and confrontational nature. So this contrast in tone and style reflect differing priorities in their communication strategies, one focus on diplomacy and other on asserting individuality. That's all.
Okay, thank you for that, Miss Bueno. So we have here a paralinguistic that will be discussed again by Miss Fajardo.
So we'll be discussing the paralinguistics, which talks the nonverbal cues, the gestures, tone, or emphasis in the discourse. So Speaker A, which is Senator Alan Cayetano, observes the use of gentle and calm voice. It can be shown the movement of his hands when explaining and emphasizing points. Cayetano also shows facial expression such as smiling after questioning VP Sara, "Nag-lunch na po ba kayo?" to start with a cordial conversation. Speaker B, which is Sara Duterte, on the other hand, shows positive attitude by trying to smile when she almost having a hard time explaining her point when being asked by Senator Cayetano. It can be observed that after she stated, "Hindi kasi ako plastic na tao," she crossed her arms. Crossing arms can have a variety of meanings. For many, arm crossing means we are feeling anxious, resistant, tense, insecure, afraid, or responding to distress. That is, according to Spinelli. Both parties used facial expression.
Thank you, Miss Fajardo, for that. And right now, we will going to proceed to speech acts of pragmatic features that will be discussed again by Miss Sabala.
Good afternoon and good morning again. So, in speech act, the speech act we found in Senator Alan Cayetano interaction with Vice President Sara Duterte during the Senate budget hearing. Specifically, we analyzed how the locutionary and allocutionary acts function in his speech. So first, in Senator Cayetano's greeting, "Good morning, Madam Chair, Madam Vice President, magandang hapon po." The locutionary act is greeting. He is addressing the Vice President and others in the room, establishing a polite tone. When Cayetano asked, "One, nag-lunch na po ba kayo?" The locutionary act here is that a simple inquiry asking if the Vice President has had lunch. So, in the first instance, we can see that the words themselves have a direct meaning. So it is when the moment when Senator Cayetano is simply greeting the Vice President and the committee. Also, the question about lunch is just an ordinary inquiry about the Vice President has eaten. So these are a clear literal example of locutionary acts. So, and also, the question, what we can do for the office of the Vice President, meron bang request sa DBM na wala sa budget nyo so that we can consider on the budget? Thank you. The question, what we can do for the office of Vice President, is an inquiry that aims to gather information about any budgetary request. So the intent here is to explore whether there are additional requests that need consideration. Or in other words, that his question about the budget hearing is not just an inquiry, but a clear request for information and to ensure the Vice President office has the necessary resources. So lastly, the locutionary act of greeting serves as the literal opening of the conversation, while the elocutionary act of greeting sets the tone of respect and cordiality. So both of these acts are necessary to create a positive atmosphere before diving into the serious topic of the budget hearing. So that's all of my part. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Sabala. So right now, we will going to discuss about the implicatures and politeness strategies about a discourse that will be discussed by Miss Tio.
Good day, everyone. So, as I will be discussing the implicatures, so it is the what is implied but not is directly stated. So, when Speaker A, Senator Alan Peter Cayetano said, "I'd like to note that this committee is ruled by the women and kaming mga men ay nasa sidelines lang." He was implying that women hold the leadership of the committee and men, including him, are less involved or less influential. It jokingly implies that women hold more power. And also when Speaker A also said that, but we also have to take into context that this is both legislative and political. Speaker A was implying that the discussion was not just about legislative, but also involved political factors. These factors such as external pressures and political attacks that could influence the tone of the conversation and the behavior of Speaker B, Vice President Sara Duterte, making it more difficult for her to remain completely cordial. When Speaker A, Senator Cayetano, asked a question to Speaker B, Vice President Sara Duterte, "One, nag-lunch na po ba kayo?" And Speaker A was not really concerned about Speaker B having a lunch, but it's to make the mood of the conversation friendly or less formal. So when Speaker B But hindi kasi ako plastic na tao. Um, she was implying that she prefers to be honest and real rather than pretending to be cordial and when she doesn't actually feel that way. So, in politeness and strategies, Speaker A began with a greeting. Good afternoon, Madam Chair, Madam Vice President, magandang hapon, and welcome to the Senate, magandang tanghali. This shows politeness and respect to the people at the Senate. Additionally, Speaker A, addressing them by their position shows the differences in their roles. So, Speaker A also uses honorifics when he asks a question. One, nag-lunch na po ba kayo? The use of po shows respect to the Vice President. When Speaker B, Vice President Sara Duterte replied, yes, Senator Cayetano, nag-lunch na po ako. She also used honorifics such as po to show respect. However, she added, hindi kasi ako plastic na tao, which uses sarcasm to show that she prefers honesty and her refusal to pretend. That's all for my part. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Tia, for that. And right now, at this juncture, we will now proceed to the last part of this course analysis framework with matrix, which is the power dynamics and ideology. So we have here a power relation that will be discussed by Miss Uday.
So, power relations. Sara Duterte as Vice President holds a political power that will inherently carry executive authority strengthened by proximity to the core agenda of the administration. Her words on the budget of the Office of the Vice President mirror on attempt at institutional autonomy and prioritizing initiatives that are key. While Grace Poe and Alan Peter Cayetano as senators, they have oversight functions as use discourse to review, approve, or oppose the budget proposal of Office of Vice President. They are positioned as custodians of accountability, holding a balance between executive power. The interplay between Duterte's executive role and the senator's legislative oversight creates a dynamic where one seeks to justify authority and the others aims to either validate or challenge its legitimacy. That's all.
Thank you, Miss Uday. So at this part, we will now proceed to ideologies that will be discussed by Miss Camarista. Tama ba, Camarista?
Yes po. So thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dana Camarista, and I will be discussing about the ideologies. So, in the conversation that we heard a lot of multiple ideologies and values. As for Senator Grace Poe, she demonstrates liberalism as she stresses the importance of civility and respect between senators. It indicates an openness to compromise and seek shared interests. And for Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, he exhibits populism by connecting with the public through recognition of the hearing's political aspects and by standing up for the vice president amidst perceived criticisms. Additionally, he demonstrates nationalism by associating the vice president's budget with national priorities and interests. Lastly, for Vice President Sara Duterte, she demonstrates authoritarianism by defending her power and labeling criticisms as politically motivated assaults. She exhibits nationalism by highlighting her involvement in international diplomacy and the safeguarding of national security. Thank you.
Thank you. So right now we have here a dominance and resistance that will be discussed by Miss Tan.
After we watch the video of the hearing about the budget hearing about Am I audible? Audible po ako.
Yes, Miss Tan.
So for the dominance or resistance, we have here the Speaker A, which is Senator Cayetano, asks the questions and leads the conversation. So we have watched about the budget hearing of DB Sara about the confidential funds. And then after we watched the video, we have seen that Senator Cayetano asked and introduced the hearing, while Speaker B or Vice President Sara shows resistance by answering sarcastically.
Okay. So thank you, Miss Tan. So I have mentioned earlier that the power dynamics and ideology was the last part of the matrix, but I accidentally forgot that there is intertextuality that will be discussed by my co-members. So we have here a reference to other discourse that will be discussed by Miss Camarista.
So again, good afternoon, everyone. So in the conversation that we heard earlier, it has references to the other discourses, such as international relations, domestic politics, legislative processes, and government budgeting. So for international relations, as VP Sara Duterte mentions her approach to international diplomatic relations, tungyana siya earlier na gusto niyo mag-discuss ako about West Philippine Sea. Ala.
So thank you, Miss Camarista.
Wala pa po. Sorry. Sorry. Sorry po. Again, as VP Sara Duterte mentions her approach to international diplomatic relations, suggesting a contrast with her domestic political style. And for domestic politics, VP Sara Duterte briefly mentions as West Philippine Sea. As I said earlier, this references the ongoing territorial dispute with China and broader geopolitical context of the region. And for legislative processes, Senator Cayetano emphasizes that the Senate committee is both legislative and political space. This acknowledges the cooperation between lawmaking and political plan, suggesting a complex and multifaceted environment. And also, Senator Cayetano references the tradition of welcoming new members to the Senate, specifically mentioning the warm reception the vice president received in her first 2 years. This underscores the importance of Senate traditions and the expectations of collegiality and respect. And for government budgeting, the conversation touches upon the budget processes and the role of the Department of Budget and Management, DBM. This references this references the broader government budgeting system and the allocation of resources. So the references that I mentioned earlier, these references suggest that the conversation is not just limited to the context of the Senate committee hearing. And it also drones after a broader range of discourses, including international relations, domestic politics, legislative processes, and government budgeting. So that's all for my part. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you, Miss Camarista. So we have here the last part, which is the cultural and historical context that will be discussed again by Miss Tan.
For the cultural or historical context, we have the conversation reflects key Filipino cultural norms, particularly the use of respectful language, So it starts with Senator Cayetano's use of po and magandang hapon, which exemplifies traditional politeness, reflecting the Filipino value of paggalang or respect, especially toward a high-ranking official like the Vice President. However, Vice President Duterte's remark, hindi kasi ako plastic na tao, challenges this cultural expectation by rejecting the performative politeness often associated with public and political discourse. So historically, this interaction may also be contextualized within the dynamics of Philippine politics, where public figures often blend formal decorum with subtle critiques or defenses of their positions. So it reflects the dual nature of governance as both legislative and performative. So that would be all.
Okay, thank you, Miss Tan. So, pa-scroll po. Like, so we have here prepared an evaluation and conclusion about the discourse itself. So in this part, I will be discussing by myself about the evaluation and conclusion. So in conversation, Speaker A and Speaker B both use cohesion and coherence. The conversation in the Senate hearing is about the Vice President Office budget. The Speaker A, which is Senator Cayetano, asks question, and Speaker B, which is Vice President Sara Duterte, answer using both formal and informative language. Speaker A, Cayetano, shows respect through polite language, while Speaker B, Vice President Sara, responds with some sarcasm and indirect answer, showing resistance. The power relations are clear as Senator Cayetano leads the discussion with formal language, while Speaker B, which is Vice President Sara, answered more casually. Despite the formality, there is a tension in their communication, as you can observe in the discourse, with Senator Cayetano using the respectful po, while Duterte replies with less formality. The conversation shows a mix of respect and political tension, highlighting the roles of attitude of both speakers. This is that's all for our discussion. I hope you guys will learn about our analysis about the discourse. Thank you so much. Bye.